Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Buckshot Thursday here on the Ohio Patriot Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about exactly why Ohioans need to vote no on the upcoming issue 1 here in November. Several reasons. Obviously, the biggest one among them, it's all a bunch of lies, dude. The entire thing is a pack of lies by the left. It's, first of all, the funding behind it is a bunch of out-of-state billionaires, one of which is actually direct tied to Obama, for that matter, and is behind that 1630 Project crap. That's probably the biggest one. Secondly, you also have people like Soros funding, you also have people like Bloomberg funding, and it's the same people that funded the last several issue 1s in this state that all passed, that were all leftist trash, like the abortion thing last year. It's all a bunch of unconstitutional BS. So basically what they did was, and I love how they lie to your face by the groups they create, like how they call themselves citizens, not politicians, while they are literally led by 2 ex-state Supreme Court justices in Maureen O'Connor, who was the Chief Justice for several years there, until her rhino ass got aged out of it was there. And then the other one is a woman who Ted Strickland appointed to the state Supreme Court many years ago for about a year or so until she lost her actual true race because she was never actually in a race to get that seat to begin with. She was appointed person. So yeah, it's those 2 people behind it. It's a hardcore black Democrat female and a hardcore white rhino piece of shit. So, Maureen O'Connor. Not only that, but it's also 1630, I believe, is directly funding them. I think it's also Soros and stuff is directly funding them because they're the ones that were really the majority of people on this thing. But then, of course, you got the Ohio, quote-unquote, League of Women Voters, which is another fucking lie, by the way, because if these fucking bitches actually call themselves what they are, what they really should be calling themselves is the leftist cunts of Ohio, because that's what they actually are, dude. They are a bunch of Democrat voters who are literally the most partisan bunch of fucking hacks I've ever seen in my entire life. They were also one of the big ones behind the abortion shit last year is what it was. And yeah, they're a bunch of scumbags is what it is, dude. They are literally demonic fucking evil on the left at this point. And the reason I bring this up is because today I got a fucking text from these assholes a little bit ago because they apparently assumed I was my sister here, even though this is my phone number. Yeah, they sent me this bullshit here. It said, yeah, it said hello, and then my sister's name. It said, "I'm a volunteer from the League of Women Voters of Ohio. Gerrymandering lets politicians draw legislative districts for their own benefit. It fuels partisan extremes and makes politicians unaccountable to voters. Ohio is one of the worst gerrymandered states in the country," which is an absolute lie, by the way. What they're really pissed about is the fact that they can't get enough fucking Democrats in the state to fuck us over with what it is on our gun rights, on our right to human life, etc. That's what it is, dude. And that's what the real deal is at the end of the day. And the thing is, it's funny to me that they say gerrymandering, because really the only places that are gerrymandered in the state right now are a bunch of leftist districts in every major city where you have like anywhere from 10 to 11 fucking Democrats in one major city area is what it is there, dude. Specifically, you look down at Columbus, it's like 11 or 12 people representing Franklin County alone. Then up in Cuyahoga County, which is where Cleveland's at, you got another 8 or 10 fucking Democrats up there. And then down in Cincinnati, you got the same thing down there, about another 7 to 10 Democrats down there is what it is, dude. And that's what makes up like those 3 major cities, and then like a couple other places like Dayton and Toledo and stuff like that. So basically the major slash mid cities of Ohio right there are the ones that make up every single Democrat in the General Assembly currently right now in our state house. So, and yeah, of course they're going to gerrymander the shit from more districts with this, dude. And that's the entire point. The entire point of issue 1, which by the way, the current issue 1, or the current way that our maps are drawn every 2 years, is you have an actual bipartisan group of people of Republicans, Democrats, and then the governor, and I believe Secretary of State is also on it. So you have it's like a 7-person commission right now that is actually accountable, by the way. You can actually hold these people accountable because you can actually recall them with Article 162 of the Ohio Constitution is what it is there, dude. What you can't do, though, if you have this bullshit issue 1 pass, is hold the 15 leftist douchebags that are going to be a bunch of corporate fucking lobbyists installed there accountable, because they're not elected officials, dude. They're a bunch of fucking bureaucrats. And that's the truth of the matter. What they're gonna do is, with this whole legislation, they're gonna lie to your face and claim, oh, it's gonna be 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans, 5 independents. No, it's fucking not, dude. It's gonna be 15 leftists, 5 of which you're admitting are Democrats, 5 of which you're falsely claiming are independents, and 5 of which you're falsely claiming are Republicans. But it's all going to guarantee are either the executives of places like Planned Parenthood and shit like that, or it's going to be somebody who has direct ties to those fucking people, like their sister, their whatever it is at that point. That's also a hardcore leftist douchebag. But yeah, going on to what the rest of this stupid message was from the Golden Voters here. It said, talking about how everyone West gerrymander states in the country. So they support issue 1. We support issue 1, which will end gerrymandering Ohio politicians and lobbyists from manipulating voting districts, which is an absolute fucking lie, dude. No, it won't. What it'll do is it'll create a 15-person bunch of assholes that are unelected douchebags that will be the fucking corporate lobbyists that will actually make leftist fucking districts only is what it is, dude. I guarantee you what they're going to do is they're going to start drawing crazy-ass hell. What they probably do, honestly, to begin with is, because right now we have 99 people in our state house right now. We only have 88 counties in the state, by the way. We don't need 99 people in the state house right now. We need 88. We need 1 per county is what it is. We need 1 county, 1 rep is what it needs to be. What these motherfuckers, I guarantee, are going to do if they get into power there, when they redraw the maps, they're going to sit there and they're going to cut up fucking cities into like 50 different districts, I'm sure. And it's going to be something like we see over in Pennsylvania right now, where in a 70-something county state, you have like 250 people in their general assembly right there is what it is, dude. And I guarantee that's the same bullshit they're going to pull here is what it is, dude. They're going to do exactly what Democrats have always fucking done. They're going to stack the goddamn courts and shit is what it's going to be there, dude. They're going to do exactly that. They're going to have the 15-person committee of a bunch of leftists create like 1,000 new fucking districts or something like that. Not obviously not quite that many, but like I said, basically whatever they would need to have a Democrat supermajority at that point. Which, if that be 100 new districts, if that be 15 new districts, who knows at that point, you know? Hey, dude, it really doesn't. Actually, truthfully, right now, if they created, I'm trying to think now, because there's, I think 99. Democrats currently hold 32 seats right now, so that'd be 67 Republicans. So yeah, all they really need to do then is they would need to create about another 40-ish districts then, and they would have a slight majority. That's what it is. If they wanted to go higher than that, though, they would create like 50 or 60 new districts, and it'd all be Democrats at that point. It would be like one-sided Democrat races then that would hold them, and it would be that alone would be enough to sway this state into hardcore blues what it is, dude. And I'll be goddamn what the fuck should happen. So, yeah, and of course, the link they put was that citizens, not politicians bullshit. And my response to them was, fuck no, because you are lying pieces of leftist extremist shit that know full well all issue 1 really does is create a 15-person leftist lobbying group to gerrymander Ohio blue. Fuck you and fuck your out-of-state billionaires that are funding this. We'll sue you if this passes. So, and that's what we need to do anyway, dude. I'm prepared at this point to do that, by the way. I will not let this shit stand, ever. Because literally, the only way that they get this passed is through fucking voter fraud, dude, legitimately. And how do you get voter fraud done in this state? I don't know. Have 40,000 fucking Haitians in Springfield alone right now. Have a whole bunch of fucking Arabic motherfuckers in various other places that were dropped into our state without our fucking knowledge over the last several years now. They're now getting driver's license too, that get voter registration by default when they're not legal U.S. citizens of this country. And then Frank LaRose sits there and bitches on and babbles on about like, oh, Ohio is one of the biggest, best integrity for voting in this entire country. No, we're fucking not, dude. If we were, Sherrod Brown would be in prison right now for voter fraud in 2018. Something I have literally called your ass out on over 500 fucking times in the last year alone. When I said, give me the fucking voter result or give me the fucking voter rolls from 2018, and I will go to graveyards, and within 24 hours, I will have at least 100 dead people that voted Sherrod Brown for you. And that alone would be enough to kick his ass out of the U.S. Senate and arrest him for mass voter fraud at that point, dude. Because I know that motherfucker cheated. I know because I have the fucking receipts myself right now, dude. It's all fucking saved on flash drives and shit. But you got these dumbass fucking rhinos ain't doing a damn thing to take it from me is what it is, man. It's bullshit. And then you got old Dickless DeWine over there fucking bitching and moaning about, like, you know, all kinds of stupid shit, and then falsely claiming like shit's not going on there in Springfield, and then not even doing a damn thing, do anything about it is what it is there, dude. So it pisses me off, man. By the way, for those who don't know, I did an exclusive on Rumble last night. Come November 6th, I am officially enacting Article 1, Section 2 against Mike DeWine and John Husted to remove them as sitting governor and lieutenant governor of the state, and attempting to basically try to make a new governor's race to where I can run myself if that be the case then. Because I will not put up with these assholes in power anymore when they are completely fucking us over, when they are doing absolutely nothing to fix this state, when they have actively committed all kinds of fucking crimes while in power here, especially as sitting governor and lieutenant governor. They seriously, like, you look at all the crimes that Wine and Houston have done right now, dude. All you have to do is look into stuff like specifically the HB6 scandal that took down Larry Householder years ago. DeWine and Houston both had ties to that one, dude. They both had complete and total ties to that. And of course, at the same time, you got issue 1 going on here in Ohio with these leftists trying to fuck over our state right now, is what it is. You also have them trying to screw over our state Supreme Court right now, because they know if they were able to get their leftist judges in there, which I know for a fact is again vast voter fraud that would only be the case in that one, they will be able to fuck us over on that court level too. So basically, it would be a two-pronged attack they're trying to pull right now with these out-of-state billionaires and stuff like that. They're trying to pass a piece of unconstitutional legislation to create a 15-member bureaucrat group that would do our maps from now on and would completely gerrymander the state blue within an election cycle or two, for that matter. And then they're trying to stack the state Supreme Court at that point with like 2 or 3 leftist judges, so that they can have like a 4-3 majority every single time it would go up to that court level, so it is then. To where we'd have to go beyond that to circuit courts, to the Supreme Court itself, at a federal level, etc. So, yeah, and then you got this stupid fucking cunt right here on X right now, an hour ago, saying, "Stop the Ohio school voucher scam and vote for Stewart, Donnelly, and Forbes for the Ohio Supreme Court." No, I think we're going to vote against those 3 assholes, because fuck all those people, dude. And first of all, school vouchers aren't a fucking scam, you idiot. And the fact that you hate school vouchers shows exactly what the problem is, and it's because you leftist fucking cunts want all the money put into the school systems so you can indoctrinate kids with your fucking trans bullshit agendas and your fucking anti-gunner agendas and everything else like that is what it is. So go fuck yourself, bitch. Yeah, responding back to the stupid bitch, I said, "Thanks for showing everyone that you want Ohio children to continue to be illiterate in Ohio public indoctrination. You leftists are the worst pieces of shit in the state. Just leave." And of course, you got fuckface David DeWitt, who is one of these assholes. I called this guy out a while ago, dude. He's one of these fake news pieces of shit in the state. He runs, I think it's Ohio Capital Journal or something like that, which is a complete leftist fucking lie rag, is what it is there, dude. He's falsely claiming a private school voucher lawsuit in local court will likely make its way to the Ohio Supreme Court, meaning whichever candidates are elected to the state's highest court this fall could end up ruling on the pivotal school funding case. The thing is, why do you hate fucking kids getting a real education, then, people? Like, seriously, why does the left hate that stuff, dude? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's because they want an illiterate fucking voter base to keep voting for their bullshit is what it is there, dude. And, of course, you got the Ohio AFL-CIO talking about vote yes on issue 1. No, we're going to vote no on that shit, dude. So, yeah, just to point out though, Melanie Stewart, one of the women that's actually running for the state Supreme Court, who's a leftist piece of shit right now, she is actually should be disqualified from the running to begin with, honestly, because she tried to run before, and it's been proven that she's actually an anti-gun sack of shit at this point, dude. So, I'm gonna call him out on that one. Stewart is a partisan hack who should have been disbarred years ago. Disbarred years ago for her anti-gunner stances. Education. Maybe it's sorry, I'm supposed to speak right now. Calling out the David DeWitt guy. I said, why do you leftist hate Ohio's children getting an actual education? Maybe it's because you know when they do. Anti-gunner, anti-life Democrats forever. Anyway. You know, people are bitching because you got Trumbull County Young Democrats. And of course, you got douchebag Michael Donnelly saying, as a justice of the Ohio Supreme Court, I'm committed to transparency, fairness, and reform. For over 20 years of experience, I'm dedicated to ensuring the legal system works for everyone. No, you're fucking not, you piece of shit. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, dude. The only reason that Donnelly and these other assholes aren't in fucking federal prison right now in this state is because technically, they should have all been thrown out of office through impeachment like 2 or 3 years ago. The only reason they weren't is because the Republican Party is so retardedly fractured in the state right now that even though there's 67 of them in the state house right now, there's really only like 40 or so that actually get together as an actual party, and the other 30, like 20 something, are a bunch of douchebag rhinos who refuse to actually vote along party lines to impeach these fucking assholes. Criminal ass. Injury. Office. Yeah, so who actually needs to be in power in this state come November election needs to be Joe Dieters, Maggie Shanahan, and Dan Hawkins. I'm going to make a post right now. Patriot education. So, anyway. But, yeah, needless to say, enough is enough of this shit, dude. It's time to get rid of these fuckers and completely kick them out of our state at this point, dude. So. Okay, we got another follower. Check out my profile. Huh, interesting. I had 191 this morning. I still have 191, but yeah, they're somehow. I don't know. Maybe they kicked somebody off or something on that. Whatever. But yeah, so basically, and going back to what I was reading though again, issue 1 here in Ohio, come November, it is literally a bunch of partisan leftist trash that really, honestly, if the Board of Elections and Frank LaRose did their jobs properly, it wouldn't even be on the ballot at all, because it's unconstitutional as fuck to begin with. And I would say, honestly, everybody that was at the Board of Elections that voted to put the shit on the actual ballot should be arrested right now for various high treason at this point, because they have openly committed obvious crimes against the people of Ohio at this point, and they are legitimately trying to destroy the sovereignty of the state and this nation, for that matter, because they are actively trying to change things the way that they currently work so that the left can have a bunch of bullshit in their fucking favor. And I'll be god beautiful that my red state turned fucking blue again, dude. We were purple at one point. We were swaying blue sometimes, swaying red sometimes. But since roughly 2012, about 12 years now, we have been a red state. We are a red state that has blue shitholes in it that are all major cities, all run by Democrats, that are all the worst places in the state. And you can literally break down crime statistics in the state of Ohio to where crime in red areas only happens because they're right next to a fucking blue city, dude. And you look at the blue cities, and it's just overrun with rampant crime, murder, rape, robbery, carjackings, you name it, basically, at this point. And don't even get me started on the shit going on there in Springfield, dude, which is a red area of the state that's now been invaded by over 40,000 fucking Haitians in the last 3 years now. And why is that? It's because they want to literally topple our fucking areas. They want to give these people an illegal way to vote in this country. Fuck that shit, dude. And that's what I'm saying. The only way that they actually get this issue 1 crap through, man, is through massive voter fraud, the exact same way that they got the last one through in 2023. Where you had a bunch of college-age kids that are out-of-state college-age kids that are now in the dorms in Ohio, here's what it is, but don't have legal right to vote in the state, by the way. And they are admitting straight up to voter fraud. They admitted that multiple times on Reddit posts there of, oh yeah, I don't actually have legal right to vote here, but I'm going to vote anyway, basically. And then somehow able to pull that shit off as it was. And then you wonder why you had 600,000-ish people, most of which are voting for the first time because they're a bunch of dumbass college kids who are too fucking retarded to even use a goddamn condom when they're having sex with each other. Instead, they want to use fucking abortion as birth control is what it is. And they're all like, oh yeah, we need this now. And it's like, no, you fucking don't. Literally. Go get a fucking rubber from the student union, bitch. And if you're not going to have, if the dude's not going to use it, then fucking don't bang that guy is what it is. How hard is that? Not hard at all. And guess what? If you do think you're pregnant, then go fucking buy a Plan B kit and use it. You know, if you think you're gonna be pregnant, then use the fucking Plan B pills. So, And this is exactly what I was saying earlier, dude. Like, that's the problem. It's the same thing here. You have people like you basically have two separate Republican parties in the state of Ohio right now is what it is. You have the one side that is Jason Stevens rhinos, led by Jason Stevens. That is him in like the 20, they called him a Blue 22 at this point because they were the 22 with whatever his ass for Speaker of the House last year. Last year at the beginning of 2023. And then you have the other 40-something people that were behind Derek Marin. And by the way, Derek Marin should be the state Speaker of the House is what it is right now. If it had only been Republicans being allowed to vote for Speaker, he would have won by double digits at that point. He would have had 2 times the amount of votes that Jason Stevens had. The only reason that Stevens won is because he cut this fucked up deal with Allison Russo and all the Democrat Party. So they would give him the 32 votes, there is what it is, and he would win by like 50-something people is what it is then. And like I said, when you're looking back at this commission, this unelected bunch of bureaucrats are trying to create, because the thing is, here's the thing, right? You would think if you're going to create a commission that would be of so-called 15 citizens of the state is what it is then, you should do it of people that submit their fucking names, and they can be the ones that actually do it. Like, people like me, basically, that should be the ones that are on the Republicans and stuff like that, right? But that's not what it's going to be at all, dude. It's going to be, like I said, 15 people that they find that are either corporate lobbyists or have direct ties to all these various groups, like whether it be like somebody from the so-called Citizens Not Politicians group that's all fucking paid for by mega donors outside of the state is what it is there. It's all a bunch of billionaire pedophiles in most cases. That have direct ties to Obama and company. Or it's going to be, somebody like a Planned Parenthood executive, or it's going to be, legal women voters people, stuff like that, are going to be some of the people on that thing. It's not going to be partisan. It's not going to be bipartisan at all, dude. It's going to be total partisan hacks at that point that they're going to falsely claim are Republican. Because I guarantee what they're going to do actually is they've probably already set it up at this point now to where they have the people already chosen, is my guess. And most likely what it is they've already had like 5 or 6 people that they're going to choose as Republicans vote in the Republican primaries, what it is this past May. And so those people are already set in motion right now is what it is. And the same thing with independents for that matter. It's like, oh yeah, here's like 5 independents we have already set up as what it is there. Or we can just claim our independence because they've never voted before at all for that matter. And the reality of the matter is when you would look at their voting records, they actually have voted before that. And every single other time they voted was all a bunch of fucking Democrats is what it is there, dude. So yeah, it's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of lies, dude. And it needs to be, like I said, completely done away with. And I have no problem right now, especially considering I'm going to be coming into money right now is what it is, dude. I have absolutely no problem right now using that money to sue the fuck out of these people at this point if this bullshit passes come November. Because I will not let this stand, dude. I will not let my state be gerrymandered by a bunch of fucking pieces of shit who have no legal right to hold any power in this fucking state whatsoever because they are not fucking politicians. If they actually wanted to run for elected office and become a politician, that's one thing, and then they actually are accountable. But that's the big part. That's the big problem, though, dude, is that they're falsely claiming that the current politicians are not accountable when they fucking are. Who is not accountable is these fucking douchebags that they would create in this fucked up commission is what it is there, man. Of this bullshit partisan hack group is what it be then. And I will be damned if I let this state be gerrymandered blue on my fucking watch, dude. I will be damned if I ever let my fucking red state fall to Democrats that are trying to push anti-gun, anti-life, tyrannical bullshit down my throat, down my fucking family's throats, down my niece's throat, down my fucking nephew's throat, down every person's throat in this fucking state, dude. And then on top of that, they're trying to push their trans agendas and their fucking pedophile agendas in our school systems. No, fuck that bullshit. Fuck these fucking people. They all belong in prison right now. They should honestly have been rounded up already at this point and arrested on various charges of various felonies they've already created at this point, up to and including bribing state officials for the last several fucking years now. And that's the problem right now. And again, that's the issue that comes when you have a bunch of rhino trash in place right now, like your DeWines, like your LaRosas, et cetera, dude, because they're not, and even like Dave, I would consider Dave Yost kind of like in the middle ground at that point because he's actually starting to do something now is what it is after like a month or two of the whole Haitian thing. But the thing is, it's like, and I get where he's coming from because he's got a lot of other stuff on his plate as Attorney General. He's involved in like 1,000 different lawsuits right now or something like that, dude. I mean that seriously though. He seriously is like, it's anywhere from like several hundred to almost 1,000 lawsuits he's involved in currently against like big tech and everybody else. Like that's what it is. So yeah, he's working his ass off. Like he's only one man on that situation. There's obviously a small, group of folks there that work for the Attorney General's office, but it's not a lot of people, dude. It's maybe 40 at most, I would say. And yeah, I guarantee those people are working 17, 18-hour days for that matter. So I have no qualms against him at this point because I know he's actually doing his job for the most part. A bunch of other arenas is what it is there. So yeah, it's kind of like hard to be like everywhere at once kind of a thing, which is exactly why, truthfully, the state itself should be hiring independent people like myself is what it is there to help them out with that kind of shit, to where we can be, bringing this to their attention and being like, hey, like, here's the deal, man. Like basically independent consultants would be at that point. And it would be like, hey, man, like, here's the deal. Like, we actually have the time to look this stuff up. And that would be our job, basically, like finding out, like, here's all this crime going on in the state. Like, how can we do something about this kind of thing? And we can bring it to their attention much faster than it is then versus, shit like what we're seeing right now, where it's going to take like, a month, 6 weeks, or whatever, for it to finally make national fucking news, for them to finally be like, oh shit, I saw this on, local TV one day. Like, what's going on here? And didn't even realize the shit's been going on for, months to years, and they don't see what it is there. And that's just even more fucked up about the Haitian thing. There's what it is, dude, because you have people there in the Springfield area who are Ohio citizens, who are American citizens in this country, who have been waiting years to get any kind of assistance because they are homeless. There's a lot of homeless people actually down there is what it is. There are citizens of the state is what it is. And they've been waiting in line to get these, housing vouchers and these, various Section 8 stuff is what it is there. And now you got these fucking Haitians coming in. Instead of it being instead of being the Ohio people at the front of the line, these Haitians come up there and go cut them right in front of the fucking lines. What it is there, dude, and take their fucking house from them is what it is. And now you got people coming out and being like, oh yeah, it's $800 a head now that these fucking scum lords are charging for the housing units and stuff like that are available. And as this one woman was pointing out, she's like, yeah, you can't afford that stuff, dude, as a family of 3 or 4. When you got fucking 8, 10 guys going into a house, there's what it is. And being charged like anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 for rent a month. Like, that's fucking insane. And by the way, all that money is coming from our fucking tax dollars here in Ohio, dude. It's all Ohio taxpayer money. It's being spent for these assholes to be given fucking vouchers and cash cards and everything else. Like, that's what it is. It's not right. It shouldn't be legal at that point, for that matter, dude. Because again, they are not fucking refugees in this country. They are literally foreign invaders, dude. As I said on that Rumble chat last night, DeWine himself, Article 9, Section 4 of the Ohio Constitution about militias. He can literally call up every Ohioan right now between the ages of 17 and 67, give them guns, and tell them to go arrest these motherfuckers. That could be done right now. But he has not done it as governor. Instead, he's pissed away a bunch of time, a bunch of resources, etc. And only now is he coming out here and being all like, oh, well, now we have this bunch of bullshit going on here now, and it's all a bunch of crap is what it is, dude. And now he's going to spend like another $2.5 million of Ohio taxpayer money by getting a bunch of state troopers to do like after job, do like overtime pay is what it is there, to go round these people up and maybe detain them if that be the case. Like, honestly, I'll tell you what, dude, like, between Mike DeWine and John Kasich, I don't know who's the bigger rhino sack of shit in Ohio for the last 16 years, honestly. Well, it's not even quite 16 years yet. It's about 14 years, give or take. But yeah, it's all trash is what it is, dude. It's complete garbage. And like I said before, man, I think and this is why I will blame Trump in some cases for some of this, dude, because he refused to endorse anybody in the primaries for the Ohio governor's race. He endorsed other candidates in the state at that time. I believe he endorsed LaRose for Secretary of State. I believe he endorsed Dave Yost for AG at that time, who were both running for election at the time, which really didn't need his endorsements and stuff like that. But no, he literally sat back and did no endorsement at all of anybody in that governor's race when you had 3 different primary challengers to DeWine then, and you could have easily had, whether it be Jim Renacci, whether it be Ron Hood, or whether it be that scumbag piece of shit Joe Blystone, who's probably going to be in prison right now for a while, for various, crimes about, taking money and stuff like that in different ways. This is when he took it basically illegally in this campaign there. By the way, Joe Blystone, the asshole that I called out several times over the years now, that dude is currently not allowed to run in Ohio ever again for like the next 10 years or something because of all the shit he did in his campaign there. Because he was a crooked motherfucker is what it is. And shocker, he was the biggest rhino sack of shit in the entire race, honestly. Next to DeWine. But yeah, that's the entire problem, though, is you could have had Trump, a month before, 2 months before, whatever it is, endorse Renacci, endorse Ron Hood, whoever at that point, doesn't matter. Renacci would obviously, I think, be just as bad as DeWine at this point, but that's a different story altogether. Or he could have even endorsed a third-party candidate for that matter. And they probably could have won easily, dude. But instead, what did you have? You had DeWine, you had Nan Whaley as the main two-party candidates on that ballot then, and you had like 10 people that were write-ins that nobody wrote in. And that's the only reason he's governor right now, dude, is because nobody knew who the fucking write-in candidates were to write them in at that point. I guarantee you, any of those other 7, 8 candidates that were on that race as independents, as third-party candidates, etc. there, had they had enough votes to be written in there is what it is, dude, they could have easily been governor right now and probably been a way better governor than DeWine is right now. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit all the way around. But like I said, come November 6th, my plan right now is starting that day. I'm going to get a bunch of paperwork together, and I'm going to start petitioning the state right now under Article 1, Section 2 to potentially start a recall against DeWine, because I believe I can legally do that underneath that legislation is what it is there. I'm going to talk to some state reps about it before that, obviously, just to make sure that I can, and see if I can actually get a hold of my current state rep right now. It's about to be out of office at the end of the year. Here's what it is, and see if he can actually break that down for me completely and be like, hey, I just want to make sure like I can legally do this, because if I can't legally do it that way, I want to figure out a way to, if that be the case, then it's time to get them on board to just appease DeWine at that point, then, dude. And the same thing with Houston for that matter too. Because, like I said, that's a secondary backup plan right now is what it is. Because, truthfully, Matt Hoffman, the current Speaker of the Senate, is what it is. Or, sorry, not Speaker. Senate President, here's what it is. He would actually be a better governor currently than DeWine is for the next couple of years. And then it would be, come 2026, then you would have a completely new race then at that point. Now, I'm sure there's people on both parties that have already got their candidates ready to go is what it is, dude. I personally am seriously considering running right now. The issue is that I've talked to people about it locally here is what it is that could financially back me a little bit. The big problem there is that they're more inclined to back me for a county commissioner's office race than for the governorship, because they don't think I actually have enough drawing power right now, or name recognition for that matter, to make an actual run at a state level as it is, which I totally agree with them on that one, honestly. And I could probably in the long run, I could actually do more damage to the rhinos in this state right now and help fix the state for the better if I were to become a county commissioner in 2026 here at Stark County, and then come 2030 potentially do a governor's run when I actually have a name behind me at that point then for 4 years. So, yeah, I'm seriously considering doing that right now is what it is. And like I said, I've got at least one dude that I've been talking with a little bit here and there that potentially has some buddies, and all of them are basically multimillionaires, that they could easily financially back me for this race as what it is there for Stark County Commissioner. And I could definitely take out Maureen O'Connor in the primaries as what it is then, and become a sitting county commissioner then after that, if that be the case then, because there's no way that if I win that primary, that I wouldn't win that general election too, dude, because just how hard right Stark County is right now, dude, I would be able to easily take down that race and then do what needs to be done to then remove, obviously, the other county commissioners from office at that point and replace them with some of my buddies doing recall votes on them is what it is then, because neither Richard Regula nor Bill Smith should either be in office for that matter, because they are both scumbag rhino sacks of shit too for that matter. Them, along with Gina, I see what I fucked up nothing on that one. Blue S. and Maureen O'Connor. I meant Janet Ware Cretin. Janet Ware Cretin would be the one I would be running against them if that be the case. And the big thing there is with her and then with Bill Smith and Richard Regula, all three of these rhino sacks of shit are complete scumbags, dude. They have done nothing for this state that betters the state. They have openly committed a bunch of fucking felony crime by illegally voting themselves in $10,000 raises years ago, which, by the way, should have been a thing going straight to the voter base. And the fact that it wasn't is, in of itself, I believe, a felony crime at this point. If it's not a felony, it's definitely a high-level misdemeanor for sure. And it might be just enough between misdemeanor and felony to where we can't actually send this as arrested out of office because it doesn't technically qualify as a felony potentially. But yeah, it's definitely crooked ass criminal shit. Then that's kind of stuff I'm talking about when I'm talking about these on Rumbles and stuff like that, dude. With all the corruption in the Republican Party, here's what it is, dude. It's all shit like that. It's all fucking let's put ourselves in illegal raises. Let's fucking, you know, do a bunch of fucking pay to play scandals. But the thing is, when you flip the other side to the Democrat Party, it's the same stuff at that point. But in that case, in some cases, it's even actually worse because it's them taking direct bribes from groups like Moms Demand Action, and every town like that, or every town for gun safety also is like that. They're fucking a bunch of anti-gunners and stuff like that, dude. And then being handed paperwork to push forward crap like red flag laws, universal background checks, all kinds of oath breaker shit at that point. And really what it's time to do is it's also time for Ohio to become the leader in states at this point, and we become the first state that makes deprivation of rights of law a felony at state level. So it is then, dude. Because I guarantee you, if that actually became law like that, and we were able to up that from misdemeanor to felony, dude, there would be so many citizens arrest of fucking politicians at local and state levels really quickly. And you would have this state in such a fucking uproar at that point that you would have completely new races as basically presidential races at that point in, 2024, 2025, et cetera, there to replace all these motherfuckers, dude, because they're all corrupt as shit at this point. And I talked to my old neighbors about that too back in the day. I was like, yeah, how many people do you have to like remove from office, like down the gubernatorial line of succession, before it's like, no, we're just holding a new governor's race now, dude? Because the thing is, right now, when you start looking at that gubernatorial line of succession right now between DeWine, Houston, et cetera, there, like, there's a lot of crooked motherfuckers in it, dude. Obviously, there was more before that, because before Hoffman became, Senate president, there was trying to think what that guy's name was now. Larry Obhoff, that's who it was. Yeah, so it was Household and Obhoff were Speaker of the House and Senate President, respectively. And yeah, Obhoff was such a fucking that dude was such a rhino sack of shit, dude. A couple of years back now, it's not even funny. And then Householder, like, for all his faults, dude, he actually was doing some good stuff there. And I really think that's exactly why they made him become the fall guy for DeWine and Company, is because they knew for a fact that he was getting stuff done. And at the time, it's interesting too when you start looking into the Householder bribery scandal things. What it is that took him down to federal prison. There is what it is. The only reason that he went down like that is because at that time Householder was actually bringing pro-choice legislation in the General Assembly for votes, is what it was then. And it was literally within a couple of days of him saying he was going to do that stuff like the next Monday or whatever it was. It was him basically being arrested over the weekend. That is what it was. So, yeah, it's some real crooked shit, man, for sure. But, like I said, really, if we were truly just at this point, DeWine and Houston would also be sitting in federal prison with Larry Householder in the same prison cell, because they openly, during the 2018 midterms, and I believe in the 2022 midterms for that matter as well, openly took bribe money from the same people that were behind the HB6 whole energy scandal things that was there. So, and then, of course, on the flip side of that, you got 2021 Allison Russo, the head Democrat in the State House there, who is the minority leader, is what it is. She openly took a big-ass fat envelope full of cash, so it was probably yay big, give or take, from Moms Demand Action members on camera during a House Oversight Committee hearing when they were trying to pass constitutional carry back then. So, yeah, she's just as big of a criminal. Then you got Casey Weinstein, who's another Democrat. I was federally swatted back in August of 2019. Back in September 2019, this motherfucker, while he was trying to push for magazine bans of gun magazines in the state, he openly printed off a bunch of quote-unquote tyrant memes from his computer. We know about this because he literally tried to sell said printer that he printed them off with like 3 or 4 days later on a buy-sell-trade Facebook site there. And so basically, he printed off these memes, walked out to his mailbox, I'm assuming, threw them in his mailbox, and then found them later on and falsely claimed, oh, people are targeting me with these tyrant memes and want to hurt me. And he also lied to people a couple years later, actually. By the way, this douchebag is still sitting in office to this day. And then on top of that, he's also trying for the state senate right now, because I believe he is primaried out, or not primaried, he's termed out, I believe, of the state house right now. So he's trying to run for state senate right now while he can. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit all the way around, dude. And I'm fucking so sick and tired of all of it. But the entire point I'm trying to make is, though, is you got all these scumbag motherfuckers doing all kinds of scumbag criminal shit and getting away with it, basically, is what it is. And in reality, if you took Weinstein and you took Russo down, I guarantee you they're going to squeal like fucking pigs in the rest of the Democrat Party, dude. And every single crime they've committed right now is what it is. Not to mention you got people like Rachel Baker and a handful of others, too, for that matter. They're all Moms Demand Action / Bloomberg paid candidates at this point. They've all had their entire campaigns funded by Bloomberg. Dark money is what it is there. Not to mention Bloomberg's also trying to take over the school boards here in Ohio and a few other states. He actually admitted that a couple years ago. It was a article from Bearing Arms about a year and a half ago, give or take, where you had Bloomberg admit he was going to try to take over states through ballot measures and through school boards. He was going to have his Moms Demand Action cunts go run for school board offices that shouldn't be holding to begin with, is what it is there. So, by the way, if you haven't seen the video, there's a woman that goes by Kiki. She actually has a YouTube channel here. She is running for some school board here in Ohio. I am definitely endorsing that woman for that school board right now because she is the kind of parent that needs to be in there, dude. She's been one of the ones recently that's been calling out the whole trans agenda bullshit in the schools. Not to mention you got these so-called health programs of teaching these kids where they're talking about how many times they can jerk off a day and stuff like that. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why are you talking to 10-year-olds about jerking off? How many times they can jerk off a day, you fucking sick bastards? It's fucked up, man. And like I said, that goes back to like the pedophile groomer shit at that point, and it's fucking ridiculous with this, bro. So, and it's the exact same crap these fucking asshole leftists are trying to pass here with this issue 1 shit, what it is. But like I said, it's nothing more than leftist gerrymandering, because it fucking is, dude. They are trying to take a red state they know they can never actually flip properly because their candidates suck ass, is what it is. And so they can't actually do their job, you know, to actually flip a district from red to blue because nobody's going to vote fucking Democrats in there because they're a bunch of scumbag pieces of shit who are trying to literally molest our fucking kids. If they're not trying to molest them, they're trying to kill them at that point then through, you know, abortion and everything else like that. That's what it is there. Generational genocide. So instead, they're going to try to use the bullshit system that we have in place right now. Since we are one of only 8 states in this country right now, 42 other states, by the way, have a 6% threshold to change their state constitution. Ohio is one of only 8 that doesn't. We should have had it last year with that special election, but then, of course, you had Bloomberg and Soros Dark Money come in and try to shit talk the then issue 1 that should have been the good one that passed, which would have been to create a 6% threshold for voter bases to change state constitution. And the thing is, it's not impossible to do that, by the way. We did that literally like back in 2022. We had a ballot issue then that I believe was known as issue 1 as well, for that matter. And it was basically to allow judges to set higher bails for violent criminals, is what it is there. And that passed by, I want to say it was like 67 or 73% of the fucking vote, dude. Like, it was huge. It was the majority of the fucking state at that point. Because people were like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, why would you not want to have, you know, violent criminals kept locked the fuck up, is what it is there, dude. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if people understand, like, it's an actual safety issue and stuff like that, or there's like an actual issue, or whatever the case be, it will pass by that fucking margin. It will pass by a 60% or higher threshold, is what it is, dude. The reason that they don't want these things on this thing is the exact same reason why they didn't want the other stuff that was part of that issue, is because they know for a fact they could never get the fucking, and that's another thing too, with these bullshit ballot measures in the state, dude. You only have to have half the fucking state right now, which, by the way, there's more than enough leftist-ass counties in this fucking state to put through a bunch of bullshit for Democrats at that point, dude, on a ballot measure. In reality, if we had had that one last August passed, you would have not only had a 6% threshold, they would have had to get, I believe it was like 10% of all the voter bases in every single county to sign off on this crap. And that's what they don't want. They don't want 40-something plus counties in the state of Ohio that are red fucking areas to know their fucking horse shit they're never going to sign off on, is what it is there, dude. Which, by the way, that alone would make these dumbass bullshit unconstitutional ballot measures never even be able to make the fucking ballot to begin with, is what it is there, dude. It's a bunch of crap all the way around. I'm so fucking sick and tired of it, dude. And in reality, like I said, it needs to be people like Maureen O'Connor and all these other assholes behind that fucking actual politicians, not citizens group, which is what I'm gonna call it now, because it's the opposite of that, obviously, is what they call themselves. But the reality is, it is politicians claiming to be citizens, is what it actually is there. that are a bunch of leftist douchebags who are trying to fuck over our states with this, dude, for their puppet masters. And I'll be dealing with what happened right now. Fuck these people, dude. Fuck them all. They were a bunch of scumbags. They were a bunch of sellouts. They were a bunch of traitors to this fucking country. And the thing is, they could just leave this fucking state and be done with it, dude. Like, they could just fuck off to another state. They could fuck off to another country for that matter, even for that matter. So it's like, yeah, just leave, dude. Seriously. Like, we don't want the red voters of the state do not want you in our state, dude. Like, just get the fuck out of here. Take your ass to New York State. Take your ass to fucking Michigan. Take your ass to any other fucking leftist hellhole in this fucking country that already votes Democrat, and go live there. But you know you fucking won't, because you know those places are crime-ridden hellholes is what it is. And that's what I'm saying. Stop trying to make my state as big of a crime-ridden hellhole as the other places you fucking locust leftists have left at this point, dude. That's what you fucking are. You're a bunch of goddamn locusts who want to fuck over the country, who want to fuck over the state, who want to fuck over my livelihood, who want to fuck over my life, my family's lives, make our lives worse because you want to be a bunch of fucking assholes and falsely claim, oh, gerrymandering is such a fucking big deal in Ohio. No, gerrymandering is not a big fucking deal in Ohio. What is a big fucking deal is you asshole leftists making actual gerrymandering in major cities a big fucking issue that you never talk about, but you only talk about the whole, oh, there's too many red districts in Ohio and we can never have power here. Yeah, fuck off, cunts. Seriously. That's what it is. It's a bunch of goddamn crybaby whiners what it is, dude. They know they can never fucking win races legitimately. They know that they will never, ever, 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 ever succeed in flipping any district in the state. And the only reason they're pulling this shit now is because they think they have the fucking momentum behind them from last year is what it is, dude. They don't, by the way. And I'm really hoping, honestly, that it shows this go around, because it possibly can show this go around if done right. And the way that it would be done right at that point is you would have them actually find out firsthand that people are sick and tired of their bullshit is what it is, dude. Because the reality of the situation is this, is you have a lot of people right now that opted out of voting in 2023 in a off-year election cycle, and that's the only reason that bullshit fucking unconstitutional abortion garbage passed to begin with, is because you have over 8 million legal voters in the state, and there was roughly 4 million people that voted in that fucking election, dude. So yeah, that was not the majority of the fucking state, dude. That was the minority of the fucking state at that point. Most of which were a bunch of first-time idiot leftist voters of fucking dumbass 18 to 20-something-year-old females, is what it is, dude, that want to sit there and bitch and moan about, like, I need to have abortion on demand for fucking birth control shit. No, you fucking don't, bitch. Use a condom. Like everybody else does. And if you want to use abortion as birth control, then maybe you should be fucking sterilized. How about that? You know, seriously. Which does kind of bring up the point, like, you know, if you're going to have these people that do continuous abortion over and over and over again as birth control, dude, like, why are we not just giving them hysterectomies at that point? Or tying their tubes with the second ones, what it is there, man? Like, it would fix a lot of issues in one shot right there. I'm just saying. Of course, they'd have to consent to that stuff. They have to sign paperwork and stuff like that, being like, yeah, I consent to this, the whole thing being a thing. That's what it is. I don't think a lot of them would, obviously, because they would know that it would be, you know, they would never have kids again, if that be the case. But what's even more fucked up is, like I said, because it seems like there's a lot of that, though, honestly, dude, where it's these people that are, like, these chicks out there, they're all like, oh, I need to have my career first and then a kid after the fact. It's like, that's not how it works, lady. Like, you only have X amount of fucking eggs. You only have X amount of fucking, you know, cycles before you're not going to have kids at all anymore. Your is there. So, no, you need to have your kids as young as possible and then have your fucking career after the fact. Like, you can't have it all. It's just not going to be at the same time as what it is. And then you wonder why you got all these fucking retards out there on social media sites being all like, oh, I'm so proudly single at fucking whatever the hell age it is at that point. And it's like, no, you're not. You're faking like you are on camera. And the reality of it is that you are bitter, angry, etc. behind closed doors. You hate yourself. And so you're projecting the hate on society is what it is there. And in a lot of cases, these are the same females that join anti-gun organizations like Moms Demand Action because they want to mother society because they never actually had a child to mother themselves because they aborted like 5 or 6 of them, what it is then. So. Dude, you really just need to tag me on X at this point. Like, seriously. Because it's really hard for me to get that shit right now. Yeah, let me see if I can find this thing. So I was doing something here. Okay, let's see this. So it should be me. Okay, let me see this X link now. Let's see, what is this new one? Oh, yeah, it's about Kyle Kellner, the former state rep there. By the way, Kellner's trying to run for, I believe it's state senate right now, and the sad part is he's probably going to win. The reason I say it's sad is because his run out shouldn't be in the fucking race at all, dude. This guy is the scumbag piece of shit who was trying to fuck us over on gun rights a while ago now, and has done so for years now in the state of Ohio. The problem is the Democrat he's running against is even a bigger anti-gun than he is with this dude. So it's like, again, like, and I've said before, dude, what we really need in Ohio, honestly, is to just do away with entire fucking seats in this state entirely is what it is there, man. Because if we did that on both chambers, both state house and state senate, then we would have a much better, cleaner set of elections at that point, dude. Because you could basically have like this: you would have 22 people in the state senate. Each of the 22 represents 4 counties, and then you have 88 people in the state house, each one of them representing a single county. And so you would have overall 110 people instead of 132 that we have right now. So we can get rid of 22 people off the bat right there and make our state better off overall. And that's the problem right now is people don't want to do that because they know if they do that, that it would actually create a better overall, more efficient state, and it would be less corruption, less, gerrymandering, etc. There's what it is. And that's the biggest problem I have with the people that want to bitch about gerrymandering so much is because they don't want to back the one county, one rep stuff as it is, dude. Which is what we need to be backing at this point. We need to be having a one county, one rep solution is what it is, because if we actually have that solution, we are way better off as a state. That's what it is, man. And we could actually get things done correctly is what it would be then. So, and that's my biggest problem with leftists at this point, dude, is they don't care about that. All they care about is fucking, pushing their leftist bullshit crap into our faces, down our throats, etc. And then you wonder exactly why people like me get pissed off all the time. And it's like, that's why, dude, because I'm fucking sick of it. I'm fucking sick of that leftist trash being pushed down my throat constantly when I don't want to hear it, neither does anybody else for that matter. I've talked to so many Ohioans in the last 6 years now, dude, that are just so sick and tired of all of it. And a lot of them just opt out at this point. They're just like, fucking done, dude. And that's the problem, dude, is you have so many people out there that instead of actually being politically active, they want to sit there and just opt out is what it is because they're just fucking drained of it. They're just over it, man. And I kind of don't blame them on that one, dude, because truthfully, if I could do that myself, I'd do that myself right now. But I can't because it's a whole situation of things. There's what it is. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not playing a 6-minute video, man. I got stuff I'm going to do in a couple minutes. Here's what it is. I'm just going to read the thing here. It says, Springfield, Ohio, much worse than we thought. Kyle Kellner, former state rep from Springfield and the Clark County area, shared shocking information about the migrant crisis under Biden and Harris administration. They not only are protected, but are given between $600 and $1,600 a month on debit cards through the, quote, Refugee Cash Assistance Program, which is absolute bullshit. That's all tax money that should be going to us as it is right now. And allowed access to all the public assistance programs available to U.S. citizens. How the fuck is that even legal, dude? Like, it's a bunch of shit, honestly, dude. So as of this month, Local Job and Family Services has registered over 20,000 Haitian so-called refugees in the county and city of Springfield. public school system with just over 8,000 students suddenly has over 16,000, or sorry, with over 8,000 students suddenly has over 1,600 non-English speaking students. 19-year-old Haitian men and women are being enrolled as high school freshmen and are in class with 13-year-old boys and girls. Fuck that shit, dude. No, those are fucking fighting age men and women at that point, dude. 100%. And secondly, on that one, and I said this last night on Rumble chat, honestly, dude. When you have these people that are doing all kinds of criminal shit right now, that are up to no good at all, for that matter, and they are trying to invade our country for their own benefits, for their own ends. Like, enough is enough of this shit, bro. Seriously. And that's the biggest problem right now, is that, like I was saying in that chat last night on Rumble, you actually have these people who are given 8 months of English courses for free in this state and are not doing a damn thing to take advantage of any of them, dude. Because they don't fucking care. That's the entire point. They don't want to learn English. They don't want to assimilate. They never will assimilate. And that's the biggest problem I have over in our family the other day, dude, is because he was bitching about, like, oh, yeah, we need to have, like, these folks here to take the jobs that people don't. Here's the thing, dude. Most of those jobs you're talking about would be filled by people in this fucking state right now, if they actually knew that they existed and could get the fucking jobs. But because they can't get the fucking jobs, because you got a bunch of illegals taking over from them is what it is there, man. And that's the biggest issue right now. And so what you end up having then is you have a situation there where you got this fucked up foreign invasion happening all across our fucking state right now by a bunch of people who refuse to ever assimilate into our nation, who have no business being in their fucking first place, and are doing everything they possibly can to destroy our way of life is what it is, dude. Because they're coming from a fucking country that is one of the biggest shitholes on fucking earth, dude. Like, seriously, there's videos here on YouTube from 15 years ago where they're showing these people making mud cookies, where it's literally a bunch of dirt that they're making into a fucking clay cookie is what it is to feed these kids. And I want to point something out, dude. Those kids in that 5-6 years old then are the same fucking kids that are coming here now that are, 20-something years old, 19-something years old is what it is there. The ones that they're saying they're rolling as fucking freshmen into our state schools is what it is there, man. Like, what in the fuck, bro? Like, seriously. And people wonder why I get pissed. Like, this is why I get fucking pissed, man. Because it's fucking bullshit. I don't want these fucking people in classes with my fucking niece, dude. Fuck that. Hell, I don't want my class with my fucking nephew who's almost a senior at this point. Because all they're going to do is fuck up his education then. And the same thing with my nieces, for that matter. We've already seen this shit happen in places like Colorado, dude, where you got all these fucking illegals coming in there that don't speak a lick of English or refuse to learn to fucking speak English. And then what do? They take the fucking resources and they dedicate it to these fucking assholes instead of actually dedicating it to the kids that are the legal citizens of the fucking state is what it is there, dude. And that's one thing I have heard out of Springfield there so much is what it is you have so many of these kids now that are special needs children, whether it be autistic issues or whatever the case be, that need to be in special courses what it is there, dude. And now their funding is being cut to give to these fucking dumbass, retarded morons so that they can have them fucking get a bunch of translators for these dipshits that refuse to learn fucking English in this state, dude. No, fuck that. If they're not going to learn English, then kick them the fuck back to their shithole of origin is what it is, dude. Simple as that, honestly. It ain't that fucking hard, people. It's really goddamn simple, honestly. If they refuse to assimilate, then boot them the fuck out forever is what it is, dude, and put them on a fucking list at that point. Take their fingerprints, take their DNA, etc. If they ever try to come back into this country, swab their fucking mouths and shit, test that it was them again, and kick them right back the fuck out is what it is then. It ain't that hard, man. It really ain't. Problem is that people are losing their damn jobs right now is what it is. Because they don't actually give a shit enough to actually save the people of this fucking state, this country. Because they don't care. Because that's the thing, right? Look at old ass DeWine right now, dude. Of course he's not gonna do a fucking thing. The guy is out of fucking office in a year and a half. Legitimately. He has roughly, or no, so I guess not 2 years actually. But yeah, he has roughly through 2026, and he is no longer governor or anything for that matter, ever again. He is gone at that point. He's going to go off. He's going to retire with his multi-million-dollar fucking fortune at this point and never be heard from again. That's what it'll be. Unless he tries to run for, like, U.S. Senate or something again down the road in, like, his 80s or some shit at that point, which I doubt is going to happen. I'm sure at this point he's fucking over at this point. I mean, he's probably like, hey, let me go ahead and go do this bullshit now. And then it's him going off and doing his thing and fucking going to go retire and hang out with his wife and grandkids and great-grandkids and all shit like that's what it'll be, man. So the ironic thing is his son, Pat, who is actually a state Supreme Court justice right now in the state of Ohio, is actually a good dude, like, compared to his father. Like, Richard Michael DeWine, who is the current governor, versus Patrick DeWine, who is his son. It is night and fucking day between these men, dude. You got one guy who is actually a decent guy in the state Supreme Court justice there, and you got his idiot fucking father, who is the governor right now, who is a complete scumbag rhino sack of shit. I don't know what happened there, dude. The only thing I can think is maybe it's because one is actually a good person and the other one's not. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was Fran's influence on Patrick there. Who knows? But like I said, dude, it's hard to say. But yeah, Mike is just a scumbag. He is a complete scumbag sack of shit. Versus his son, who's actually pretty, like, I don't know if I'd say pure constitutional, but, like, from everything I've seen with the rulings he's done as part of the state Supreme Court is what it is there, dude. It's all a lot of constitutional stuff. Legitimately, it's all good shit too, for that matter. So he's definitely done stuff that has benefited us as a state right now, and it needs to be the other Republicans that are running for these offices this year. They need to run these races, dude, for real, because we do not need a bunch of scumbag rhino sacks of shit. We do not need a bunch of scumbag Democrats and rhino sacks of shit, for that matter, in power. The people that are actually running for office this go around, though, are pretty good folks, as far as I understand. Like, there's the reason why I'm endorsing all of them, dude. And it's that we do not need a bunch of leftists taking over the state of Ohio in our highest court of the fucking state is what it is, man. Now, granted, that being said, do I think that Joe Dieters guy is all that great? Not really. He's a buddy of DeWine. He probably shouldn't be in the race at all. It should have been somebody else for that matter. But he's the best we got right now is what it is, dude. If we can replace him in the next election cycle, cool. Let's do that. As of right now, though, him versus Democrats, he's the only choice at this point, dude. As for the others, Shanahan and Dawkins, as far as I understand, they're both good folks, is what it is, man. They've got some constitutional rulings here and there, and they are the better choices in this race overall. All the Democrats that are currently running, that are either already in office or are trying to run for the office, they are all a bunch of scumbag sellouts. They all have direct ties to Moms Man Action and other anti-gun groups, for that matter. They all have direct ties to Bloomberg and Soros money. And yeah, they should be in prison right now, dude. And if we, like I said before, if it was a situation there where you did not have a split in the Republican Party in our General Assembly, Donnelly and the rest of them would have already been out of office right now, dude. They would have been arrested out of office, most likely. They would have definitely been impeached out of office for sure years ago, and we would have been better off as a state right now without their asses in it there, because they have done absolutely nothing except fuck around with our time, our money, and try to screw over our maps, claiming they're unconstitutional when they're not. The only thing unconstitutional is them even being in office right now, dude, because they have openly committed deprivation of law by trying to fuck over our map-making ability in this state to make actual fair maps, is what it is. Because the thing is, right, this is my thing right now, right? The left wants to bitch and moan about Ohio being gerrymandered, yet what they don't understand is, if you have people voting Republican every election cycle, of course there's going to be a red area that's a district now. Of course it's going to favor Republicans by, plus 15, plus 20, whatever the hell it is at that point. It's the same thing with the left, dude. You're going to look at these major cities where it's usually one-horse races of Democrats, and it's going to favor a Democrat by like plus 40, plus 50, something like that. I mean, hell, there's a reason why that old bitch Marcy Kaptur has been a sitting congresswoman for over 40 fucking years now. It's because the district she represents is in the fucking shithole heart of the damn area of Cleveland, dude. If it wasn't for that, she wouldn't be in power right now. If it wasn't for a bunch of retarded leftists that keep voting her into power every fucking 2 years, she wouldn't be in office right now. Which, again, begs the question, why the fuck don't we have term limits on receiving power in this country? And why the fuck don't we have age limits on holding office, too, for that matter? If both those things were a thing right now, she would not be in office right now, over 40 years later. The fact that I'm not even 40 years old, the fact that this woman has been holding a congressional seat for my state for longer than I have been alive is fucking pathetic, dude. It's disgusting. It is absolutely fucking atrocious. I don't care, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. Like, nobody should be holding fucking power that long, bro. There is a reason why we actually have term limits on presidencies in this fucking nation, dude. And governorships, too, for that matter, for the most part. Depending on the state, obviously. Why the fuck don't we have these things for everybody across the board right now? Like, why is fucking Congress exempt? Why can a congressman run 20 fucking plus times in a row and be allowed to run 20 plus times in a fucking row? It's just insane. It's psychotic is what it is. And then you wonder why all this shit keeps going on. It's not that hard to figure out, man. It's fucking ridiculous what it is. Oh, by the way, for those who haven't heard, somebody in Texas, I guess, won the Mega Millions the other day, which really pisses me off because I was really hoping to win it myself, if that be the case. I'm going to check Powerball here and see if there's see if Saturday's Powerball is worth playing or not. Throw a couple dollars down on that, maybe. See if I can win enough money to basically say, hey, sales off, bitches. Because it'd be nice to say that right now. Be like, nope, sorry, I'm buying the property myself. I got the money now. But unfortunately, right now, that's not the case. So, I don't know. I was talking to one of my aunts about it at the end of the day, though. I think maybe most likely what's going to happen, though, is I'll probably end up in the next couple of years here looking into buying some land across the state and getting like a small piece down in some part in the lower area there. That's quite far from where I'm at right now is what it is. And then probably just doing some homesteading stuff down there or something, most likely. Because it would be nice to just, sort of live off-grid if that be the case right now. Or maybe not completely off-grid, but you know what I'm saying, like as close to it as possible because I still want technology, obviously. So plan right there would basically be get something someplace, which if I can go down to like sort of like the counties that border West Virginia, like Meigs and stuff like that. I found a couple pieces of land in that area that are fairly cheap right now that if I had the money I could put down some cash on and then just simply, go live down there is what it is then. And, do what needs to be done to sort of just stay under the radar, if you will. But at the same time, I still would like to be here is what it is, just so I can, run for office, obviously, and potentially hold office for a little bit there and then do what needs to be done. But, of course, if I am correct about what I think is going to be the future of this country, we're probably not going to be one in the next, 5 years or so, so it's not even really worth it at the end of the day. Like, it'd be worth it right now to actually just, pull the trigger on that and put the money together and figure it out and just go get a piece of property there and start, just basically digging a well there and getting the septic installed and stuff like that. And then, yeah, literally just from there it would be, doing like a small prefab house or something probably, or a trailer or something on the property then. It depends on what I want to do, obviously, because I don't really want to live in a trailer myself. But like if I could do like a cheaper prefab house, I know they're doing 3D printed houses too. I talked to my aunt about that just the other day. If I could do something like that, that'd be kind of cool. It'd be nice to be able to have something that's like the fraction of the price of real houses it is then. If I could put something like that on the land, that'd be kind of cool. And then it'd be, get like a piece of. Basically, my end game is I would want something. Like I want enough land to where I could do two things. I could legally shoot on it without anybody fucking with my, rights and stuff. And then I'd want a secondary part there where it would be, I'd want to have the ability to have some place to fish on it. And so my thinking is, what I would most likely want is about probably almost as much as I have right now as what it is as the family home, which is almost 10 acres right now. Oh, I think it's either just under 10 acres or right over 10 acres what we have actually here on this property. And so the plan with that would be I want like anywhere from like 6 to 8 is what it would be then, and then it would be you have a small piece of small home of some kind on there, and then it would be I would have like an acre that has like a small pond on it, give or take, like a little farm pond or whatever, that I would dig out myself, probably most likely with like a backhoe or some shit. And then, because unfortunately with the state of Ohio, our regulations and stuff, my uncle and aunt, the place they have right now, I would love to be able to buy that up, but it's not going to be possible because several $1 million, honestly, that's going to go for at some point. But yeah, that place is fucking awesome. Because it's all grandfathered in there is what it is. And my uncle was talking about the deep end of the lake down there. It actually is like over 20 feet deep. So unfortunately now in Ohio you can basically only get I think it's like 10 feet or something at most, or maybe it's even like 8 feet. I forget. It's actually really shallow. Like it's like basically a guaranteed like perimeter is what it is there. And I think it's to prevent drowning and stuff. But at the same time, it's like at the same time on that one though, dude, that's how you get fish kill-offs though, because they don't have enough area to go down into and bury themselves. So then you end up having a situation there where they end up dying then in a fucking, some random freeze over them. And I don't want to see that happen at all though. That'd be bullshit. So, but yeah, it's just very, like I said, very, very irritating in general. And it just bothers me, dude. So, and again, it kind of goes back to just government regulation trying to fuck you over constantly is what it is. And it's like, or you could just fuck off, government. Like, how about that? Like I think we'd all enjoy that one, honestly, dude, for real. But and then also to that same matter of things, like fuck off, giant corporations that are trying to take over government. We don't want your asses in power either, douchebags. So go fuck yourselves. I'm specifically talking to you, O'Connor and company that are behind that citizens, not politicians bullshit. We don't want you fucking scumbags in power either, douchebags. So, but yeah, anyway. So basically, what it comes down to being is shit's about to get done, and hopefully it'll get done quick. But when it's all said and done, it may take a little bit of time to get it done. So, and it's only a matter of time before things do change, and I think they're going to change for the better. Hopefully I'm right about that one. And like I said, really this episode is really just to get the word out there that it's time to vote no against leftist bullshit once again. And it's time to vote no on issue 1 once again, because it is nothing more than leftist partisan trash. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I sure as shit don't want a bunch of leftist douchebags controlling my fucking state, controlling the politics of my fucking state, controlling the way that my maps are written in my state, to gerrymander my state blue when it has been a red state for over a decade now. If they want a blue state, they can take their asses to New York State. They can take their asses to California. They can take their asses to Michigan. Stop trying to fuck with Ohio's red state. Stop trying to fuck with the voter base. Stop trying to fuck with the actual will of the voters, which are the real people who have voted for decades like myself, not these fucking little leftist piece of shit retards that you turn to fucking activists in our school systems. Enough is enough of this shit, dude. Just knock it off. Get the hell out of my state. Don't come back. Leave. Pack your shit. Go someplace else. Push your fucking leftist turd shit in some other fucking leftist turd state is what it is. And make that more blue and leave our red states alone, dude. Seriously. So, anyway. But yeah, that's about it for today, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Always be caring because you never know what's going to happen. And my best suggestion now is if you live in a state where you can legally carry a long gun in your vehicle, start doing that, man, because shit's getting real fucking nuts. And I would even say that to all the people in the red state right now, dude, here in Ohio. And that was one thing I suggested last night to a bunch of people. I said, yeah, start carrying. If you're not already carrying, start carrying, dude, because now is the time. Really, you should have already been carrying in the state. You really should have been carrying the day we became a constitutional carry state on June 13, 2022. I was, and I have been ever since. So, and that's all I'll say about that. But, yeah, it's time for people to understand that we are a constitutional carrying state, underground state, and to start using those things as they were intended to be. If people are, trying to fuck with you, if they are trying to hurt you or your family or your pets, you have a really good right to deal with that threat. And it's as simple as that, really. So, anyway, have a good one, y'all. Peace out. Vote no on issue 1.